how long is Jimmy Garoppolo's leash? It sounds like an absurd question because he's playing a great stretch of football. He should have a long leash, but I'm not sure he does. As I mentioned before, this is kind of a playoff game, and the Seahawks have shown that they have his number. If I was watching the Saints on Thursday Night Football, and I'm watching Taysom Hill, and I'm thinking, this is your Waterloo, buddy. This is it. All the hopes and dreams that people had for you and that organization or wherever is over. You're not a quarterback, and everyone knows it, and you're not going to get another chance. You threw 4 picks. That has nothing to do with, your mechanics or learning. That's just you cannot be trusted to make decisions at quarterback. You're done. You're done. That was your Waterloo. And Jimmy's Waterloo is going to come eventually in San Francisco. It's either going to be in a playoff game that he loses or some bad loss down the stretch that he should win. And again, like Seattle, that could be his Waterloo. And if it's going like it went week 4, I think he's going to have a short leash. I'm expecting Kyle Shanahan to not mess around. I mean, I know the organization wants to trade Jimmy Garoppolo and not jeopardize that, but they already did jeopardize it by trading for his replacement last year. And there's no secret that Kyle Shanahan wants to move on. And if Jimmy Garoppolo pushes him to the brink, I don't think Kyle Shanahan will blink on that one.
And let's be honest, that his trade value, I think, is pretty fixed at this point. Unless he go,
if he has any.
Yeah, right. That people know who Jimmy is, and that's inconsistent, and why the 49ers were willing to give up so much in order to move on from him. So I don't know that it would hurt his trade value terribly if he just proved to be inconsistent more. I would say that I think his leash is a long one at this point. I think that you would be able to drop this game and head into the next one with a bad performance before it would really change the tide, because Kyle is riding high on the 49ers being the hottest team in the NFL right now. That national narrative that is turned around, that the 49ers are back. You could sustain one loss, especially if he quoted Pete Carroll and saying, well, I don't want to use the excuse of Deebo Samuel and Fred Warner being out, but Deebo Samuel and Fred Warner were out.
Can we talk about that trade value real quick? I've been talking about it all week, and I want to get your perspective. I don't really think he has trade value. To me, it's not that he's not good. It's the contract. He's gonna be a free agent in 2023. So he's got 1 year. He's basically, it's an expiring deal. 1 year left, and it's expensive, $27 million. So the difficulty is not trading Jimmy; it's trading that contract. It seems to me any team that might be interested in him, and I don't know how many would be because he's quite limited. But any team that would be interested in getting him as opposed to drafting a quarterback, which is a better option, couldn't you be like, hey, we'll just wait a year. We can get him in free agency next year and not give up a draft pick and not spend $27 million. Like, what team out there is going to say, no, I want to be first to Jimmy. I'm going to give up that draft pick and give him an extension so no one else can get Jimmy. I want Jimmy Garoppolo. That market doesn't exist. A lot of teams might be, yeah, I like Jimmy. Next year, when I can sign him for what he's really worth, I'm just saying, the issue is trading the contract.
Yes, that's a fair point. I would say I think you're maybe overlooking just how desperate bad teams get in the NFL. That
it's going to take desperation.
Yes, there are head coaches, there are GMs who are on their last legs, who are going to try anything to save their next season. And Jimmy's a glimmer of hope. Jimmy is the underperforming underdog quarterback that fan bases could wrap their arms around and like him because he's, a blue collar guy and he's handsome and he would give them
that winning record.
Some hope. He's got the winning record. He's a winner, Grant. He's a winner.
Wasn't that like the entire list of reasons that Detroit brought Jared Goff in as opposed to drafting a quarterback? Why draft a quarterback who's an unknown when you could get this vet who's had this winning record, and then you bring him in, it's like, oh, it was the Rams.
Didn't work so well.
Oh, this guy has won 0 games without Sean McVay. That's a true stat. I think he's 0-16 without Sean McVay as his quarter. And like, oh,
that's right.
I guess we didn't, sign a bunch of wins. And if you bring Jimmy Garoppolo to the Houston Texans, you're going to be so disappointed that he's not bringing the wins with him. Sorry.
The only thing I'll touch on with getting back to the contract is it seems to me that what happens in the NFL is a lot of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that the agent and the new team come together and agree on an extension, a renegotiation, or something beforehand where they know that they're going to be able to extend Jimmy Garoppolo and manage that cap hit, spread it out over some years. And Jimmy knows that he should take that because he needs a fresh start in the NFL. He may get cut and make zero, right, have to renegotiate a contract from zero at that point. So it's advantageous to both parties to negotiate that deal and get traded somewhere that he thinks he's a fit.
I just don't see any team looking at him as a franchise quarterback. Like I see a team bringing him in, to as like a
bridge,
year-to-year guy or someone. But like, hey, we want Jimmy so bad that we're going to trade a draft pick and extend him, like the Niners did. No, the Niners are that team, and maybe New England would have been that team, but they're not anymore. So I'm curious to see which team is just like hot and heavy for Jimmy. Like, man,
I'm interested to see if Pittsburgh might be in it.
Could be.